Hello everyone, it's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad, video number 158, and time to discuss my week number 2 in Nepal. I think the pictures will help me explain because it's been another interesting and wonderful week from many aspects. So let's start with sharing my screen and we can explore what happened. Now, this was the map I think I tried to show you previously from Ravi. I was in Kathmandu last week, and then on Saturday, I caught a bus early in the morning, got up at 5 to catch the bus around 7, and got to this town called Chitwan. And there was a break in the bus rides, and a friend by the name of Babaram came and collected me at the bus stop and took me to his home and his family. And then late in the afternoon, after visiting his family, I ended up in Butwal, where I've been for the week. So let's show you a couple pictures, and this will probably explain better some of what happened this week. This is the schedule. So I was in Kathmandu last week, and this week I've been in Butwal. And this was the bus, this particular one was the bus that I took from Kathmandu to Chitwan. And you'll notice they say tourists. The reason they say tourists is just to tell the locals that that's not a local bus because they don't stop buses, just wave their hand and the bus will stop. When it sees tourists, they know it's not a local bus. Anyway, this was one of the bus stops, for a break, snacks and washroom break, etc. And you can see it's very smoggy here in this particular area, and also very hilly on the way from Kathmandu. And this is an example of the town in Chitwan. I rode a scooter. Babaram, who collected me, had a scooter. So my luggage was something, this isn't the scooter, not him. The luggage he had in front, and I had another bag between me, and I was on the back of the scooter, and he took me to his home. And from his home, we went to his family area. And when I say family area, it is a very large family. And he said, well, this is my mother's house, and this is my brother's house, and that over there is my uncle's house. And it just kept going. The family owns half the houses in the area. And they had had a wedding the day before, which was on Friday. So we're there on Saturday, and the family now was just getting together. Only was family only feast after the wedding. They had guests the day before, and there was still an enormous amount of people because there was uncles and aunts and cousins and grandparents and great-grandparents, and I was the only non-family member there. So they treated me very well, and I'll show you a couple pictures. In the area, there was a Buddhist occasion where they were raising money and having sort of a bit of a festival and music all day. So we walked there and watched them, even though predominantly it's a Hindu area. That's the predominant religion in Nepal. But the Buddhists Babaram was laughing a bit because he said some of the dances they're doing and music they're playing is Hindi. The Buddhists, they just mix everything up in Nepal. So it was interesting to see that. And from there, went to the family. And these were some members of the family, uncles and family members getting ready for eating today. And so that's Babaram and his two daughters. And not sure, grandmother. There were so many people. And there's Babaram and myself eating some of the food that had been prepared for the family meal. And of course, other family members wanted to take pictures of me, with me, again, Babaram and myself and additional family members. They had this tent up from the wedding, and that's where the food was being served and dished up. And so this was a selfie taken by this gentleman. thought, well, he'll taking pictures, but he wanted to get in as well. Now, this is the next town where I am currently, Butwal. And this was very interesting. From after leaving Babaram, the two gentlemen had come from Butwal that day to attend some conference, a school education conference. And once that finished, we got on a bus. Now, this was the most interesting bus trip I probably have ever taken. The road from Chitwan to Butwal is about 120 kilometers distance, and it's under construction. It has been so for a couple of years because COVID sort of stopped the construction. So they dug up all of this road for 120 kilometers. So it's a dirt road full of ditches and hills and bumps. And this was normally apparently a 2-hour drive for the 120 kilometers or so. And this took over 4 hours because the road is in such bad condition. Sitting in this bus, you were bouncing off your seat sometimes, or the bus was wavering. And if there was a little smooth spot, the bus would start moving fast and then put on its brakes because there's another ditch to go through. It was like that for over 4 hours. It was like a roller coaster ride, up, down, twisting, back, fast, slow. I don't know how the bus driver coped, and I don't know how the bus copes. You'd think the bus would break down on such a road. And it's going to be like this for a few more years because the construction is crawling along. So there's going to be many years of this reconstructed road. It was really, if you ever want to go on an amazing bus trip from Chitwan to Butwal in Nepal is one of a kind, I would say, at this moment. That was amazing. Now, this is Apex School. So this is where I've been ensconced for the past week. It's a private school. That's the bus. This is looking from the dormitory. I have a room in the dormitory. They gave me a separate room, and I've been in this room. And this is some of the morning assembly, some of the students, and they all stand in line, they sing and do exercises, etc., before they start their school. So this is what they're doing in the morning. And this is from the window of where I'm in the dormitory. And on one of the days of the week, a couple fellows from Agora Local Club came and had arranged a interview with journalists. We had about 12 journalists interviewing me, and we were talking the Press Club of Lumbini, which is in Butwal. And these were some of the journalists. They wanted a picture of me with them after having interviewed me and discussing what we're doing here in Agra. So I don't know what publicity we got, but we had a dozen journalists in a room with me at this press club. Now, Lumbini is also an interesting part of the world because this is where Buddha was born. So there's a whole complex of all sorts of Buddhist monasteries, including a Canadian one, German one, and from many countries on this whole complex where Buddha was born. And there's this World Peace Pagoda. So I have a picture, that's me standing on the path to the World Peace Pagoda. And as it says, this is a sacred area where relics of Buddha are enshrined. So there's the pagoda, where apparently there's some enshrined relics of Buddha. Who would have thought I'd be there? I never thought I'd be there. And this is also part of the complex. It's a very large area, and there's like a canal separating some of the temples and the pagodas and etc. And you can take a boat from one side to the other on the canal. So this is on the other side. Now, I spent the week starting on Sunday and ended on Friday with students. And this was during the week, we were getting practice on what Agora speakers are. And this was them in the room, in the classroom, practicing what the speakers do. And they were, I don't know, just fantastic students. They were interested. and they just took to it. And by Monday was sort of their first day, and they were very rough. And by today, on Friday, they were amazing. So this is the school, and I was in a room, probably this room is where I'm currently in, and that was where they have their assembly. So I took the picture from that room previously on a previous day, and this was an assembly another day when I was on the other side of the complex. So that's one of the buildings in Apex School. And then this morning, which was Friday, we had a group of the young people. We had 12 out of the 20 because we had a shortened meeting just to demonstrate what we were doing. And this was them starting the meeting with some other students from other schools. About 8 other schools came and watched what they did. And they put on a meeting where they had impromptu speaking, prepared speaking, and they did evaluations. And they did an outstanding job. And they had wasn't they had pressures. They had to do other things this morning, and they had other things after this, and they just put it all together. I was astounded on how well and how serious they did after 5 days of just 4 days of learning. And this was the fifth day when they put into practice what they had learned and demonstrated to others. I did a presentation after that. These were, again, some of the members. You'll see here, it says school youth orientation. And we had a lot of people after this on this sign. These were some of the members. Some of them had to finish this and rush out to some. I think they had to go to dancing. And so these were some of the, some of the students from this school, the Apex School. And they were, as I said, astounding what they managed to do today. And there's a few more of them. They wanted to set up their club. They wanted to register the club today. They said, no, this was so good. We want the club to be registered. So we're going to have to do something for it. These are some of the 12 that were left today. So that was the day. It was an amazing week with a outstanding bus ride from Kathmandu on last Saturday. And my next trip is, I think tomorrow I go somewhere else and do this all over again in another town and in another school. So I'm looking forward to what the world holds. I've been spoiled. I had another night where people from Agora local sat down and we chatted about Agora, and they were getting tips and saying, how do we do this? How do we do that? And this evening, I'm supposed to go to dinner with some other people at another school before I leave tomorrow. So it's been it's been amazing to be in this school with and be accepted by all these young people coming up and saying hello and wanting to talk to you. You don't have that opportunity to go to a school and have all these students chat to you. And, they have a canteen here. I've been fed here. Um, I don't know. I guess I've been spoiled. And I just enjoyed my week again in another town, in another city in Nepal. And next week, another town, another school. So with that, I'll say adios, au revoir, wishing you, your family and friends, lots of love and laughter. Bye for now, and namaste from Fred and Notes of a Nomad.